Joining us right now, a guy that covers TFC 24/7, day in and day out, does a great job at 680 News. He does a lot of football reporting and does it well. Michael Leach. Michael, welcome, my friend.
Hey, thanks, Anthony. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure's all mine. Michael, I said this, I tweeted out, I'm hurt for the English supporters. I really believe this time in this year, after the first couple games, I believed, honestly, my heart of hearts, it was going to be different. I saw things that were different, and I really believe they could go to the semis and maybe the final. I'm lost for words today. You explain it to me.
Well, I'm at a bit of a loss for words too. I thought they were going to go to this, at least the quarterfinal. I think that next match against France might have been too much for England, even if they had gotten through today. What went wrong? Well, I think there is a bit of an arrogance when it comes to England, and a belief that when you put on the Three Lions shirt that you are superior to your opponents, and history shows us and the results show us that just simply isn't the case, and we saw that again. I think Christian Jack on the TSN broadcast this afternoon made a very good point. If you watched England throughout this tournament, you're shocked, certainly. You were beaten by a minnow in Iceland, but a very disciplined minnow, and a team that, the Icelandic team beat the Netherlands. So they're no strangers to taking down powerhouse teams. They beat the Netherlands twice in qualification for this tournament to reach France. And so for them, going up against England today, I don't think they certainly didn't seem fazed by the occasion. And England was the team that certainly in the second half looked a little bit more frantic.
Michael, this is my opinion and mine only. I don't know if you agree or not, but to me, for the last 5 years, it is the best league in the world in England. The best coaches we're going to see again this year there. Some of the best players, the best facilities, bar none, the most well-behaved supporters. Why in the world, every time it comes to World Cup or Euro, they fold up under the pressure. They don't leave blood, sweat, and tears. They don't go through a brick wall for that jersey. They don't play a full 90. And the word I used for the Italian team that I've never, ever used ever for the English team is unity. Explain it to me.
Well, I think there are a couple of things in there that you bring up. And, the blood, sweat, and tears on the England shirt. Well, there are tears on the England shirt tonight. Certainly both from players and supporters. And obviously the manager is no longer the manager, Roy Hodgson, stepping down after this afternoon's match. I really feel, again, and I mentioned that word before, arrogance. There's an arrogance in the English side that they are superior to their opponents, and they just simply don't show it. And part of it might be that passion that you mentioned, and it was mentioned by Gareth Bale earlier in the tournament, that the Welsh team, who are still playing, going into the quarterfinal, play with pride and passion, and England don't play that way. And I just think that there is maybe a little bit too much in the way of England believing that just taking the pitch is good enough for them, particularly against some of these perceived to be weaker sides such as Iceland. Now, you mentioned the Premier League. Yes, the Premier League is one of the top leagues in the world, if not the top league in the world. But look at who the best players in the Premier League are. You're looking at guys like Sergio Aguero. You're looking at foreign players, at which, if you look at leagues like the Bundesliga and certainly you'd be more familiar with Serie A, those leagues are stocked more with domestic players. England, in its desire to, I guess, raise the level of play within the Premier League, have brought in a lot of foreign players, foreign ownership, foreign management. That's not a bad thing. Certainly the caliber of football goes up in that league. But the problem for the English national team is that its top players are not the pool of players for the England manager to pick from is not necessarily deep enough.
And that's a great point you make, Michael. You mentioned the word arrogance in there a couple times. And to me, the only nation that should have any arrogance, they lost today, that was Spain and maybe Germany. The rest should keep their arrogance in check because what have they done? That's number one. Number two, again, your opinion before we let you go because we know you got to get up early in the morning, so we appreciate it. I've never, ever, ever seen Wayne Rooney as a leader on the field or in the locker room. Why in the world have they crowned this guy as a leader on the pitch and off the pitch? I'll never understand. It was proven again today.
Well, it's been 50 years since England won anything, and even there's some debate as to whether they should have won the '66 World Cup in Wembley. So you're absolutely right. England has nothing to be arrogant about, and recent results show that. You're absolutely right, and congratulations to your Italian side, the Azzurri, for getting past the defending champions Spain today, and obviously Germany as well, and how clinical they were at World Cup 2014, and now it looks like they're setting up for potentially another run. That match between Italy and Germany in the quarterfinals should be a wonderful game to watch. But as far as Wayne Rooney goes and the England team, he's been around for a long time, and in 2004 at the Euro, he was going to be the leader of the next golden generation of English players, and it really hasn't panned out. I believe that we saw not only Wayne Rooney's last game as captain of the England team today, I believe that this result today will be the last time you see Wayne Rooney in an England shirt.
And I couldn't agree with you.
I don't see how they can possibly continue to go forward. The part of the problem is that Rooney is starting to get a little bit older now. That's one thing, but there are players coming up, Harry Kane and Dele Alli and some of the other players in the England. Marcus Rashford. Rashford came on for Rooney this afternoon, and I felt in 5 minutes was better. He did make some useful mistakes, but I thought his enthusiasm brought more to the pitch for the Three Lions than what Rooney had done in the previous 85 minutes. And I know that Rooney had scored on the penalty, but that's a penalty kick. I just feel that there's a new crop of players coming up for England that need to get the experience, and it's maybe time for Rooney to step aside. I'm a Manchester United supporter. I love what Wayne Rooney has done for his club and for his country, but I think it's time for him to move on because there were players, Harry Kane, one of them, playing out of position because Roy Hodgson was insistent on putting Wayne Rooney in a team that maybe he should no longer be a part of.
You're bang on. Your analysis is 100% accurate. I agree with everything you said. Michael, in 10 seconds or less, off topic, how fed up are you with MLS refs after watching what happened to TFC in Orlando?
I have to admit, I didn't see the game on Saturday night. It was a date night for my wife and I, and we needed to do that, particularly with the heavy fixture list for TFC at home coming up. So I didn't see the game. I got a very angry text from a friend of mine while I was in the theater with my wife.
Well, don't watch it, Michael. Don't do it. Don't do it because... Yeah, you don't do it, don't watch it because it'll upset your stomach. You'll have diarrhea for 24 hours straight. It's just, you and I are in there. We watch a ton of TFC games at home and away. And we'll leave it at this, Michael. I think you would agree. It's time to spend some money and bring refs over from England, Italy, Portugal, Spain here to help this league grow because it'll never grow, Michael.
I completely agree with you. And this has been the never-ending story. Before we go, this has been the never-ending story with MLS refereeing, whether it's Baldomero Toledo or Ricardo Salazar or whoever. We have referees at the top professional level in North America who just simply lack the experience at such a high level to be able to call the game at the speed that the game is going at, and certainly with the precision that we need. If you're a referee and you get a call wrong in a beer league game or even lower league games, reserve games, academy games, that sort of thing, under 17 rep games, That's one thing. We're talking about professionals here who have dedicated their lives to this craft, having results of games being affected by referees who just simply aren't up to snuff. There are millions of dollars on the line with this league. And you're absolutely right, Anthony. If the league wants to improve and take steps forward and gain legitimacy as a major football league, soccer league, not just in North America, but around the world, the refereeing has to improve because we've just seen too many rinky-dink calls.
Absolutely, Michael, you're bang on. Absolutely, you're bang on. Michael, time is our worst enemy. We can't thank you enough for making time. Great work at 680 News. Great work covering TFC. Enjoy the rest of the Euro. And hey, don't be a stranger. We'd love to have you on again, my friend.
Thanks very much, Anthony.